Would it be trouble if they knew? I'm trying hard to make you see. All that you are is all that I need. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on, leave the lights on.
close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
And I don't know where I am, I don't know where you take me, I don't know where you take me. I just follow your trail and I'm losing your mind and I'm losing your head. Let me escape from this love, cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Motive Racing. We are live here at Zolder for the 7th round of the GT4 Championship here on ACC and at Motive Racing. My name is Dan Davis, and once again with me for the GT4s, as always, is Dr. Benjy. Benjy, how are you doing this evening, and are you looking forward to this evening's race?
I'm not bad, thank you, Dan. Yes, I'm looking forward to tonight's race. I think it's going to be another good one. We've got a full grid of 20 cars. It's midnight at the moment over here in Zolder, but yeah, I reckon we've got a good one to look forward to. Familiar faces, a few sort of reserves. We've got Only G in as well. See if he can put Javier under some pressure tonight, as he's been the runaway leader, hasn't he, Dan, in the championship so far?
Yeah, he definitely has. He's really been on it this season. No one has really been a threat to him this season, and I'm just having a quick look at the standings to see if he can wrap up the championship here this evening. And to be honest, mate, I think he's already wrapped it up. I'm looking at the points now. He's 106 points ahead of Freeman. So technically, Javier tonight is actually already the GT4 champion. So already he's done bits this season and has completely wiped the floor with these guys. 6 rounds and 6 wins.
Unless, Dan, he decides to go on an all-out rampage tonight at Zolder and gets loads of steward penalties. Yeah,
I mean,
it's
crazy things have happened, but me and you both know after watching this season, he is the most clean and consistent driver on the track. And
there's no drivers near him though, Dan, because he's just so quick.
Well, like you said,
drives away at a distance. So yeah, so that's one way of avoiding steward penalties. Just be too quick, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. But like you said earlier, we got an interesting guest here this evening racing in the GT4s. We have the Only G this evening racing with us. So maybe can G take a threat up to Javier? I believe he's currently on an outlap at the minute, but he hasn't done much practice. He hasn't got a setup or nothing, but he says that he's not too keen on racing tonight, but he's going to give it a really good go, and we know what G's like. Even when he's not in the mood, he's still somehow one of the quickest guys on circuit.
Yeah, interesting, he's in the Mercedes as well, so he's matching Javier's car. I know he's dabbled with the Camaro in the past as well, but obviously he thinks the Mercedes got the pace tonight, so he's gone with the Mercedes being a reserve and having the choice of what you can choose.
Yeah, definitely. Got a couple of people into the comments already. Crispus is saying good luck all and go, 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 run DJC. DJ Phil says hi. The Wall says good luck guys, and J Pum, good luck to all the guys. Unfortunately, I can't make it for this round, but hope it'll be a good show nonetheless. And it's such a shame that we do not have J Pum here this evening with us. But guys who are currently watching the minute, tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone that we are live right now, and come and get and support your friends and family and drivers, because they're going to need every little bit they can. Currently, Ratchet Ass is sitting in second place at the minute, just behind Javier. We're gonna say current championship leader, possibly championship winner. It's 106 points ahead of anybody else, and there's 35 points each round. So I don't see anyone taking it unless we, like Benjy said, massive stewards inquiry, but Javier never really gets himself in trouble to be involved in it.
No, he's pretty much wrapped this one up. He's just got to bring it home. But I'm sure after winning the first 6 races of the season, he'd like the clean sweep. So far, no one's been able to deny him of that. Any sort of race wins or like really take it to him. But maybe with the skills of the only G that we know that he has, then that could possibly put him under pressure tonight.
It could possibly, and at the minute G is currently sitting in 5th place, 1.3 off the pace at the minute, but he's probably just getting himself sorted and into the groove. But nonetheless, we need to get some predictions here this evening. So guys, predict who you think is going to take the race win this evening for round 7. And let's talk a little bit of the circuit, Benjy. Zolder, definitely an interesting circuit. I think it definitely suits the GT4s. It's not very wide, it's quite a technical circuit. You can't really exploit the power of a GT3 here, but these GT4s, I reckon they're great fun around here.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's several chicanes, probably three sort of main chicanes really at Zolder, and the first chicane round the lap has a really, really high sort of sausage curb, which in a GT3s is an absolute nightmare because you hit that wrong, you're going into orbit, you're in space, you're on the way to the moon. But in the GT4s with the bigger suspension, you do tend to ride over the curbs a bit better. So we'll probably see them attacking the curbs and really trying to push the track limits to the limit, but they're going to have to be careful because there are several places where it's very easy to pick up track limit warnings, and then you know what happens, drive through stop goes, and that's really, really not good for your race.
No, definitely not. And to be honest, Benjy, I think this Zolder circuit is one of my secret favourite ones. I mean, I don't do well here, but I do love this circuit. It's good fun. It's quite old school in a way that the runoffs, there's not much runoff at all. It's literally gravel or grass. So if you do make a mistake, this circuit will bite you, and these guys will know that for sure. And like you said, the GT4s can bounce over these curves much easier than the GT3s. So it really does suit these cars massively. But right now, we're currently watching the man who took 2nd place at Suzuka last week and really getting involved in these GT4s at the minute. And this is Andy we're currently on board with. He's come through the final few sectors, and after Suzuka, Benjy looked kind of solid in these GT4s. Didn't really have much of a threat. Was on similar pace to Javier, but he couldn't quite bring the gap down. And obviously Javier, with the amount of time and consistency he's had in these cars, it was good enough for Andy to get in quite close to him, but not close enough.
Yeah, I think this is his 3rd race in GT4s tonight, and he did a great job at Brands Hatch in his first race, and then from Brands Hatch to Suzuka he's improved loads. So if he carries on that trajectory, because he's still quite new to this game and new to the car, I believe, then there's no reason why he couldn't be challenging for the lead and really take it to Javier in the near future, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, like you said, joining mid-season, if he just puts a little bit more time and put a little bit of effort into really focusing on these cars, he could definitely get himself up there. As we see, the only G goes up into 3rd place. He's trying to find pace out there. I believe he's got Emo Guy right behind him as well. And there's another guy I want to talk about, Emo Guy. He just hasn't been what we expected for the rest of the season. He's just not been where we'd expect. He
really came out the block stand, didn't he? So quick, and he was absolutely rapid. He was really pushing for like the wins. I think he had a couple of connection issues that really sort of thwarted him, like in some of the early races. But yeah, he had a lot of speed, but throughout the season it seems like he's maybe been struggling a little bit. I think there's been occasions where he's been expecting a wet race with the setup and then been struggling because he's got a wet setup but it was a dry race. So yeah, it's just one of those things, unfortunately, but hopefully he can get back on it tonight. He's currently down in 13th, 2.7 seconds off Javier's time, but then again, the person in 2nd place, RaKiMaJe, is over a second behind Javier as well, so Javier's putting us an absolute stonking lap there, isn't he?
Yeah, once again Javier looking like the man to beat this evening, and looking like he is going to take this championship by the scruff of the neck. But I bet his new challenge is now, can he take every single win this season in the GT4s? I don't know what we've got to do, mate. I think we're going to have to put some sort of restriction on his car or make him qualify at the back of the grid. I'll tell you what, if Javier is listening now, if you win this race, mate, round 7, I want to see you fight this pack. I want to see you start from last place, for the final round at round 8. So if I want to see how good a driver you are, you'll have the championship in the bag by that point. Let's see you take on the entire pack. As we're currently watching the only G in third right now.
Bathurst as well, that would be tricky. That would be impressive.
That would be the most impressive thing I've probably seen on this game. So, if Javier wants to take up the challenge, then mate, that's my ultimate challenge for you. Let's see if you really are the man of these GT4 cars. But at the minute, RaKiMaJe has put in a solid lap time to currently put himself in second place, with the only G in third. HR USA currently in fourth place. Fifth is Marty Road Racing. Sixth is Freeman. Seventh right now is GTSR, and eighth is Mark Rave. Ninth is Kodalunga. 10th is W. In 11th place is Thomas Menger. Andy is now in 12th place. He moves out of the way of the driver. RaKiM has been dropped down to 14th after someone has just improved their lap time. I believe that might have been Cheese Monkey. Cheese Monkey has improved his lap time and put himself up into 12th. Emo Guy is currently in 15th place at the minute. Kenny in 16th. The Wall! Bring on the Wall! Is in 17th.
Bring on the Wall!
He's absolutely loving it. The Wall is absolutely loving these little things. I'm guaranteed he's got the stream going as we are chatting right now. But he's done great. The Wall joined in mid-season, and he's really thrown himself into our Discord, into our community, and he's done fantastic things and just supporting everyone and all the channels, which is nice to see. And the same to all the other guys. It's great to see everyone in the comments and supporting us all the time. But in 18th place at the minute is Grula at the minute in that position. AmazingPieBoy in 19th. And Windsor, once again, brings off the back of the rear, but he's still going. He's keeping it consistent and keeping it on track, which we love to see. Benjy, we have got less than 3 minutes of the session left. And I want to get your prediction, mate. What do you predict of this race this evening?
Well, Javier win, obviously. Second place, I'd probably say I reckon Freeman. I reckon Freeman's going to have good pace round here, and I reckon he's going to do very, very well. I've got to do a special mention though to RaKiMaJe. He had a fantastic race at Paul Ricard last Sunday. He got a 4th position in the Tier 1 ACC Championship, so that was excellent. And he's messaged me tonight to say that he's not feeling brilliant because he's observing Ramadan at the moment, and the last time he ate was 4 AM, so fair play to him. He's in second place qualifying at the moment. I don't know about you, Dan, but if my stomach starts rumbling, I cannot concentrate, and if he's last eaten at 4 AM, fair play to him.
That's mad. That is mad. I mean, I've just had 4 Weetabix right now just before I started watching this, so I'm stocked up and ready to go for these great action of the GT4s. For a whole hour, these guys will be racing for, and they will have to do a mandatory fuel stop as well. Tyre choice is up to them, whether they want to change tyres or not, and I believe the pit window will be around about 35 minutes to 25 minutes left of the session. They have a 10-minute window to make their mandatory pit stop. If they don't take it, they will gain, what did we get? What did Andy gain last night? It was like, what, 30-second penalty or something like that added to their time? It was something like that.
It's 120 second if you don't do your mandatory. It's something like that. It's a lot anyway. You definitely want to do your mandatory pit stop. You don't want to forget it.
Yeah, and you definitely want to do it in that time bracket. JR Sim Racing in the comments right now, or Junior Sim Racing, as we learned the other week, in the comments saying, come on, run DJC, a race team. And we'll quickly run through those drivers at the minute, and obviously leading them away at the minute in the run DJC drivers is Javier, the fastest man of the session so far. Crosses the line. Does he improve? He does not, so he will stay in the pole position. Marty Road Racing is another run DJC driver. Freeman as well, I believe, is another driver to that list. And the other one as well is Emo Guy. That is your run DJC for the GT4s, and they're a little bit spread out at the minute, but Marty Road Racing I believe has just been improving each session, and he's up there at the minute at the top with 4th place.
Yeah, he had a fantastic race, if I remember, to begin with. At Brands Hatch, he was up in 2nd place, I believe, but then he had a bit of a mistake and was facing the wrong way and had a lot of damage. So we know he's got fantastic pace. He's just got to keep it on the black stuff tonight, which is easier said than done at Zolder, because with the narrow track, the big curbs, and the close racing, it is going to be a very tricky one. I imagine there's going to be contact tonight.
Evil Scotsman in the comments as Emo Guy guy that is, says it's 180 because that's what he got on Sunday. So 180 seconds for the penalty for not serving your pit stop. So we're just finishing up here in the qualifying session. We will be back momentarily after the session is done due to the fact the game having a little bit of a glitch issue. But once we return, we will be underway as we see HR USA goes into second place just at the end of the session there. Brilliant stuff from him. But nonetheless, guys, we will be back momentarily. We got the Wall and AmazingPieBoy finishing off their laps. But at the minute, it's Javier on pole position. Second is HR USA. RaKiMaJe in third. The only G has got himself up into fourth place, and fifth place will be Marty at Road Racing. That is your top five. AmazingPieBoy comes through the final few corners. The Wall will be first across the line, and he'll stay in 18th place. And then finally, we will have AmazingPieBoy in the Camaro and towards the line, and he will stay in 19th. So guys, that is your qualifying session. Me and Benji will be back momentarily, but for now, we'll be right back in just a moment's time.
The separation of talent and skill is one of the greatest misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to excel, who have dreams, that want to do things. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. There's no easy way around it. No matter how talented you are, your talent is going to fail you if you're not skilled. You know, if you don't study, if you don't work really hard and dedicate yourself to being better every single day. Make a choice. Like, you just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. I'm motivated by fear.
Has managed to keep it just ahead of DJPhilgreen at the moment as we're side by side here coming down the pit straight. Is Camber going to make this 3 wide coming towards turn 1? You can see there DJPhilgreen just trying to squeeze Emo Guy towards the right, giving him the middle of that space with 3 wide coming into turn 1. Camber very sensibly backs out of that one as Emo Guy manages to hold his position on the inside line and just about squeeze his way into the position there and maintains 8th place ahead of DJPhilgreen. Here we go, it looks like we're lights out here at Brands Hatch, and it's a good start there from pole from DeedeeTKU. It looks like we've already got Fury coming down the middle here, going towards Panic Hill. DeedeeTKU trying to fend off Sebastopano as he comes onto the brakes. It looks like he has held onto the lead just about, but Serts is hassling him as he comes through Druids, and we see there Fury's managed to get that position on Oakbar into Druids. Sebastopano very late on the brakes there, and looks like DeedeeTKU's been pushed out a little bit, so Sebastopano's up into the lead. Looks like Fury having a look on DeedeeTKU, but DeedeeTKU managed to hold on to that P2 just appears. When DeedeeTKU emerges from the pit lane, we know that a pit stop is around 25 seconds, and he's going to be very close with Rompu as he comes to the end of the pit lane now. Rompu drives around the outside of Panic Hill and up into 3rd place, so that would have not been what DeedeeTKU wanted at all. Second separating these boys, Boostyn did have a lead of about 3 or 4 seconds. He was pulling away to Assetto for a few laps, and now he pulls out to the left hand side. Ziegenmilk has to leave the door open. We're going to go side by side here down the pit straight. Is Thorsten going to go for the move into the first corner? It looks like he does. He's up the inside, so Thorsten Borchardt getting that position side by side here down the pit straight. Austin Style now has an opportunity to take this P2 position with side by side coming out towards turn 1. Austin Style goes later on the brakes, up the inside. Elliott tries to undercut him on the exit. Still side by side, incredible stuff. Can Elliott hold it around the outside here, or is Austin Style going to complete the move? It looks like Elliott somehow managing to hold on to that position. To go for the move, both of these guys within about 2/10 of the car in front, as we see DeHuisRocker closing speed coming onto the brakes. So he looks like he's making the move on the inside here of Benjy for Benjy, but he can't quite get it done at the moment. DeHuis goes a little bit wide there on the exit, and it looks like he almost spins it. Very close there to losing the car. HRT Zeus is up into 2nd place, but DeHuisRocker was pushing a little bit too hard there in his quest to try and get ahead of Benjy for Benjy. Benjy for Benjy's holding on to the lead. deedeeTKU lining RaKiMaJe up here, but he can't quite make it stick at the moment by the looks of it. And Unorthodox has got a fantastic run on both of these guys, but Unorthodox, you just saw, had to get out of it a little bit there because he had a great run. It was going to most likely end up in him driving himself into trouble, and we can see RaKiMaJe going straight on there over the chicane. Unorthodox driving around the outside there of deedeeTKU and up into 5th place, and Unorthodox is going to try and get RaKiMaJe as well. He has indeed. That is brilliant stuff from Little in every way that he can. John Boy very much on the back of these guys now as they come down the pit straight. Oh, we can see there, it looks like DeHuisRocker getting a bit loose there onto the grass, and now Little League just going to fancy his charges around the outside, and with 3 wide here coming out of the pit straight. John Boy trying to get involved in this action as well. In the end, I think surely Nickthevilla is going to back out. Yes, he does, but John Boy making a double overtake there coming into turn 1, and he's up into 6th place. What a move there from
pushing, you can tell he's pushing. Look at the way he's driving the car. He's making sure it's got nothing left to give. He's absolutely ragging it round Alton Pond. He's got alongside Exmar as they headed towards the island bend. Gary will have the inside line, and Exmar's wide, and he's off. Can he keep it out the tyre wall? Indeed he does. Done. In fact, he's through, coming through the little chicane section there. And already going down the back straight, he's going to try and gain on the leaders as he's back up into P3. What can DeHuisRocker do? Well, that's RWI Racing comes back at Zeus, and they've made contact, and somehow Zeus and RWI have stopped it from going fully round. But DeHuisRocker and Klaus Martini had to take avoiding action there, and that's DeHuisRocker just leaning on RWI Racing, which will allow Klaus Martini up the inside. In fact, Klaus Martini's kind of forced RWI Racing wide there as well. In the background of this, Bod's looking for a bit of piece of the action, but can't find a way through.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Motive Racing. We are about to get underway here live at Zolder for the round 7 of the GT4 Assetto Corsa Competizione Championship. Once again, in the coach box with me is Benjy. We've just been watching qualify, mate, and Javier has been on fire. No one has been able to touch him this season, and I don't know what we have to do to slow this guy down. He literally seems unbeatable in these cars.
Yeah, he's we've pretty much used every sort of expletive there is to describe Javier. He's just absolutely on it, and no one thus far could live with him in the GT4 Championship. So I just don't see him ever making a mistake or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, if he carries on as he has throughout the beginning of the season, he's just going to win this one as well. But HR USA qualified in second. He's often very quick, HR USA, but sometimes qualifies a bit further back, so maybe he can keep with Javier in the early laps and put him under a bit of pressure.
Definitely. So we've got 16 people currently watching the stream. Guys, get your votes in on who you think is going to win this race. And also later on this evening, I'll be asking for your driver of the evening. But we'll do a quick run through of the grid. Javier on pole position, HR USA in second, Ratchet third. The only G will start fourth. Fifth is Mighty Ray Racing, W6, Freeman 7th, GTSR 8th, 9th is Mark Rave, 10th is Andy, Rakim is 11th, Card Lunga is 12th, Thomas Menger is 13th, Cheese Monkey 14th, Imago 15th, Kenny 16th, Grulag 17th, The Wall 18th, Windsor in 19th, and the AmazingPieBoy didn't ready up, so he will start from the pits. But here we go, guys. We're about to get underway for the GT4s, and we are green lights. We're away here at Zolder for the hour-long race here of round 7, and HR USA is alongside Javier, but looks like Javier has got it into turn 1 for a moment there, Benjy. I thought Javier was under pressure and was about to lose the place there, but the only G is already making his moves. He's gone right from 4th to 2nd and has passed HR USA right round the outside.
Only G showing his experience early on in this race up into 2nd place. He's going to have to try and stay with Javier if he's got any chance of doing well this race, but he's gone a little wide there. I don't think HR USA has got too much of a run on him though. He should hopefully hold the position. As we come up to the chicane with the large sausage curb, can everyone get through cleanly? Let's have a look. Looks like so far everyone's getting through. Javier's gone through. I haven't seen any contact so far, so all clean from the guys. We've got number 42 right at the back, AmazingpieBoy, so he's obviously had an issue, I think, at the first corner.
He started from the pit lane, so obviously he'll be way back right now, but the only G has managed to jump the rest of the pack, and he's going to try and hunt down Javier if he can. Can the only G finally go against the man of the season for the GT4s? We will see later on. HR USA still leads the rest of the pack from W, who's had a great start to this race. He is up into 4th place and doing a solid job in that BMW.
Yeah, great start by W. He's up in 4th, like you said, and he's very quick, obviously, here at Zolder. The BMW obviously seems to be working well for him here.
Yeah, definitely so. Just a quick run of the grid here as we go into the end of lap 1. And AmazingPieBoy rounds off the back of the grid. The pit window is open if they need to make a pit stop. Obviously, that's due to damage, but we've been pretty clean on lap 1, and we've done a brilliant job this evening of keeping things clean and on track.
Yeah, so far I've not really seen any major incidents. Everyone been very fair. I just see someone went wide. I think it was W, maybe just went wide. I think he's lost a position there to AA Rashid. So the timing screen is not refreshed, and he's under pressure from Marty RoadRacingIsLife now. As we see RaKiMaJe go wide, and it looks like Marty RoadRacingIsLife is going to take advantage of that. Looks like he's maybe made 1 or 2 places as we go 2 or 3 wide into this corner, but yeah, so they've strung out a little bit again. But a couple of mistakes there.
Yeah, Marty Road Racing definitely taking advantage of the 2 guys running wide and getting onto the grass. His teammate Freeman it's his turn to try and take advantage of W and A RaKiMaJe, but we will see how they will get on later on. But the Only G has managed to keep, look at this, Benjy. The Only G is only 3/10 behind Javier. Now, does G think that Javier's only chance of getting, or G's only chance of getting past Javier is the early points of the laps where he's as close as possible to him, or will he try and long it out for as possible? Has he got the consistent pace to stick with Javier, or will he just try and dive it down the inside and take the race lead as quickly as possible?
Oh, we're going to have to wait and see. I don't know. I mean, he's a seasoned veteran, is the Only G. He knows what he's doing better than me, at least, anyway, and he's keeping it with Javier fantastically at the start. They're already pulling away from HRUSA. HRUSA's got a little bit gap to 4th of Marty RoadRacingIsLife as well. So, but so far, it seems that the Only G can keep with Javier, but whether he can make a move. I think the Only G is saying he's having some technical issues of some sort with his steering wheel or something. I'm not sure. Did you hear, Dan? Oh,
his desk is moving. Oh, his desk is moving. Oh my God! So G and that Mercedes are literally shaking his own desk, and well, I don't know how, if he can drive with that. That's like probably driving with a flat spot. Every time it's going around in a straight line, it's going to be banging like mad.
Yeah, I didn't realise the Mercedes has a desk to use at front with the steering wheel, but obviously it seemed quite rudimental, really, the Mercedes, if they're still using desks maybe as the cockpit. But yeah, I mean, he seems to be catching back up, so maybe he's fixed his desk or his dashboard now.
Mark Rave under a lot of pressure from Codalunga and Andy right now. Andy gives Codalunga a little bit of a bump, but Mark Ray really struggled in that tight, twisty chicane, and he's now under a lot of pressure here. But Andy also in the middle of that. Andy's lost the place. He was starting in 10th place, so he's moved down the grid a little bit. Emo guy's on the move in the Ginetta. He's not too far behind these guys either. So GTSR just in front of these guys. So there's fights going on all up and down this grid. Marty Road Racing is starting to pull away from AA RaKiMaJe, but nonetheless, great stuff all the way around. And finally, Javier might have a challenger here this evening if G's desk doesn't decide to break apart.
Yeah, let's hope G's desk doesn't self-implode or do something crazy, because we want to see him give Javier a run for his money. And so far, they're trading lap times. G sometimes gets quite close to him, and Javier pulls out like half a second or so. But it's definitely seems to be a bit more neck and neck between these two, and if anyone's going to take it to Javier tonight, it looks like it's going to be the Only G, as he just lost a bit of time there on that lap for quite a significant chunk. He was 1.7 seconds behind, so
I don't know what it is, Benjy, but I think it looks like that G seems to struggle in the first sector. Oh, we got Marty Road Racing's in the wall. Marty Road Racing just hits that curb, just caught that at the last second.
He's
going
to have
stuck.
to get it in reverse to get it out from there, isn't he? He needs to reverse that, but he's going to have to let the whole pack go through.
Oh, look at him, he's
around.
Struggling.
Oh, he's having difficulty getting it going. He's facing the wrong way at the moment, so he's going to have to spin it around on the grass, but he's going to let everyone through.
Yeah, he's being respectful and allowing the whole pack through, but such a shame for him. That's allowing AA RaKiMaJe upper place, and W and Freeman as well. But I was just going back to Javier and G. It seems like Javier seems to have the pace in the first few sectors, and then G seems to claw it back again in the final few sectors. So
Yeah, it does seem a bit of a trend like that, doesn't there? As HR USA is not fully sort of fallen off the back of G yet. He's still within sort of like range of him, not for a move, but he's not really lost pace too much. So yeah, but Javier's just opened that gap up to 2 seconds for this next lap. So let's see if he can keep extending it, or if only G can start to close it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely, and we'd like to see a fight between Javier and Unigi. We would love to see that and see if Javier can keep hold of a race win. The only man this season to win a race, no one else has. So it'd be nice to see someone else on the top step of the podium. And if it's the Unigi, then fair play to the Unigi, obviously taking it to him. We're currently watching Andy right now, who's having a great fight with Codalunga and also Mark Rave. Another person who's just, his pace this season has just suddenly dropped off. Imola, he was so strong, looked so good to take a race win at Imola, and ever since he's just gone downhill. He's not had the pace.
Yeah, he's obviously struggling a little bit since the start of the season. Like I said to you before, I think he's had a PC, so maybe the transition between PlayStation and PC can make a big difference. And maybe he's struggling with the PlayStation version of the game, because they can be quite different in these versions of the game. But yeah, he's not as high up as we'd expect him to be perhaps tonight so far.
I love the fact, right, that the only G currently trying to do his fastest laps in the Mercedes right now, and it goes and put a message in the Discord saying to everyone to watch. How this kid manages to race and run a Discord at the same time baffles my mind, even though that's allowed HR USA to bring that gap down a little bit. But now G doesn't have to worry about the Discord or the YouTube. He can just focus on and try and catch Javier if he can. Now, also a trend that's going on right now as well, seem to have a group of cars that seem to be separated by a couple of seconds. So we obviously got the top three who are way out in front. Then we got Ratchet W, Freeman and GTSR all battling it out for 4th, 5th and 6th and 7th. Then there's a little bit gap back to Mark Rafe, who's got Codalunga and Andy breathing down his neck. Then again the gap back down to Emo Guy, who's got Ray Kim, Thomas Mengo and Cheese Monkey all close behind, and not too far behind them is Kenny as well. AmazingPieBoy and the Wall going at it as well. The great fight between them, and Marty Road Racing is trying to make a comeback. This is what we love about GT4s. No matter where you look, there are close fights and battles left, right and centre. As we see a Mercedes getting out of the way. I believe that is Grula getting out of the way. So good stuff to him to staying out the way. But there seems to be like a group of cars and then a couple of seconds between each other, Benji.
Yeah, they're sort of like splitting into like little packs a little bit, aren't they, of similar ability. So, but there is some close racing throughout the field, as I see the only G is closing back up on Javier a little bit. So maybe after his...
Emo Guy has dropped it. He has dropped it in the chicane, and that's allowed Ray Kim, Thomas, Cheese Monkey and Kenny all to get past. But Ray Kim got caught up in that, and he's holding back and waiting for Emo Guy, and it looks like he's given the place back. So maybe Ray Kim has made contact and spun him round. I know as we went on board with him, Emo Guy already looked like he lost it on his own, but Ray Kim obviously then finished the job and spun him round. Such a shame for him there, but Ray Kim losing out as well. But as you said, Benji, the only G is bringing that gap down again. It was 2.9, it's now 1.9, and let's see if he can claw onto the back of Javier, and HR USA has just dropped off the pair of them right now, 4 seconds back. And then you got this fight again between AH, Ratchet W, Freeman and GTSR all quite close to each other, and I think Freeman is under a lot of pressure from GTSR right now.
Yeah, this 4th through to sort of 7th is very close. These guys always seem to be very close to each other, and Ratchet has put in a fantastic display tonight. He had fantastic qualifying. I think he was 3rd in qualifying. He's 4th at the moment despite an empty stomach, and he's doing extremely well. I haven't seen him put really a foot wrong, maybe a little bit of gravel here or there, but he's got very good pace tonight, and he's really showing what he can do.
As you see Andy just in the background looking to try and make a move on Codalunga. He looked down the inside of the chicane as they go over the hill. There's very close between these two, but Andy will have to concede. Will he look to the inside? No, he's going to have to wait it out a little bit longer. But because these two are fighting, that's allowed Mark Rave just a little bit of breathing space and to clear away from these two and allow him to get onto the back of GTSR. And Gulag just trying to stay out the way of Mark Rave there. And he takes out a sign as well as there's the sign bouncing across the track.
Oh, yeah, it looks like someone else hit it as well. I think it was Thomas Menga maybe hit it as well, but yeah, signs flying everywhere.
Yeah, obviously trying to avoid getting in the way of drivers, so he's just clobbered that right out the way. But Freeman is now pressurizing W. So 1 minute Freeman was under pressure, now he's giving the pressure. We currently had 18 people watching the stream. Guys, hit that like button if you like what you see, and if you want to get involved, then head over to our website www.motiveracing.com and get involved in this great action. G currently stuck at 2 seconds at the minute and can't bring that gap down. But I honestly don't know where to look, Benji. There's so much action going on left, right and centre.
Yeah, it's going on everywhere, isn't it? I mean, we're having more of a battle at the front than we've ever had. Only G sticking with Javier pretty much. It's been back and forth between them. So far, like, Only G has been keeping it about sort of like a couple of seconds, hasn't he? But then further back, like from sort of, we got from 4th to around sort of like down to Andy probably in 10th. They're all very, very close. There's not a lot between them, is there? At all?
I think I've just seen Thomas. Yeah, he's dropped it. It's another driver to get caught out by the chicane. He just hits that curve a little bit too hard, and he's in the wall. He has lost a massive amount of time.
Oh yeah, and he's struggling to get going as well. That's what I was talking about. This first chicane, I think we're just going to call it a chicane of death, because you hit that curb and you hit it at a funny angle and it just throws the car and you spin, and it just absolutely ruins your race. The trouble is the curb, it's like encouraging you to like clutch it as much as possible, because the more you kind of cut it, the more time you might be able to gain. But equally, sometimes you hit it and the car is all over the place and you can get a tank slapper on very easily.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a lovely queue of cars at the minute. Ratchet leading the queue with W, Freeman, GTSR, Mark Raver and Colorunga and Andy. All these guys within this small little group between, what was it, that's like 6 cars all battling it out for 4th place. Such a shame they're fighting for 4th place, because it's just outside of the podium positions. And in that podium position is HR USA, who currently is all on his lonesome self. He has no one to race, he has no one to chase. The only G just dropping off the pace a little bit with Javier. Maybe he's saving tyres. I don't know, not sure what G is doing at the minute, but he's just off the pace a little bit. But maybe he's just trying to stick with him, as we are already near enough 15 minutes into this session. 46 minutes left of the race to go, so still plenty of time to gain places and plenty of time for people to make mistakes, as W has lost out to a few drivers, GTSR and Freeman, when we were too busy watching the leaders. So he's had a little bit of a mare somewhere, and now he's got massive pressure from Mark Rave.
Yeah, they as we just see, Ratchidas, he's got a drive-through, Mr. Drive-through himself. Oh, that's a shame, because he's been doing so well, but Ratchidas is down for his penalties. He loves a good penalty. We often see him with drive-throughs or stop-goes, and he's got one tonight. He must have just lost a little bit of concentration, shut some of these corners and cut them a little bit too fine, and he's going to have to make his drive-through the next sort of 3 laps.
Yeah, definitely, and that's a shame for him, leading this pack of cars at the minute, and he'll have to serve his drive-through. I'm not sure how long he's got. I think he's got 3 laps to serve his drive-through, so he'll need to get it over and done with. As Andy misses the chicane there big time, as he needs to be a bit careful. If he does that, he'll get a penalty himself. So Andy's skipping half of the chicane there. But at the minute, this is that fight going on at the minute. Cheese Monkey is now cleared. Kenny and Emo Guy, these two having a good little fight with RaKiMaJe not too far behind. Thomas, after a little bit of an incident earlier on, is recovering in 15th, and he's got Marty Road Racing is also recovering down at the back of the pack. And we still got Javier leading away at this precise moment, but the only G is in 2nd, HR USA in 3rd, and that is your top 3.
Yeah, I'm just looking back down the pack. We've got Grillo.
Hang on. We've got Mark Rave, GTSR, and Freeman all going into the chicane of death. Mark Rave, oh my god, W bounces
There's
over.
People everywhere.
Andy's missed the chicane. There's cars literally everywhere. How they all managed to get through there, I will not know. I know Andy had to cut half of the chicane, but the net winner out of all that was GTSR. He now leads this pack. Ratchidas has pulled away from them, and after all that, just a little bit of chaos going into the chicane of death.
Yeah, that was, I just switched on it as soon as I heard you make that noise, and yeah, just cars all over the place. It was cars going left, straight, right. There was some missing the chicane. Always we see Andy get a little bit on the grass. It looked like he was going to have a little bit of a spin there, but he managed to hold it together. But these 6 cars are really, really going at it at the moment. Very, very close racing between them. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see who can come out on top of these cars.
Absolute chaos here at Zolder, and it looks like these guys are going to be battling it on for the rest of the evening. I was just about to say it wasn't going to be long until one car will have to give, and there was going to be absolute chaos in this group. But it's now GTSR who leads this pack, with Mark Rave pressurizing him now. Freeman's just lost a little bit of time to him. The net loser out of all of that was W. He is now dropped down to 10th place, as Andy and Kodalunga are still battling it out. These two have been at it since lap 1.
Yep, they've really been at it. Kodalunga had some impressive performances this season, as Andy's looking very, very close and coming into the chicane. It's a difficult place to make a move though, and he thinks better of it. He stays behind Cod, but yeah, Cod's had pretty much all 6.
Sorry, I just saw
what did you see, Dan?
I just saw W bouncing over the chicane of death, and he just keeps it in a straight line. That was a great save from him. Sorry, mate. Carry on.
No, I was saying Cod, he's had pretty much 6th places apart from one race, so he's been consistently 6th. As I think number 76, I just see going wide. I'm not sure who that was, but
Kenny.
Oh, it was Kenny. Yeah, so I just saw him going wide, and number 45 as well is having an issue. Who's that?
Rakim. Rakim's dropped big down. He's lost loads of places. He's now just dropped behind AmazingPieBoy. So Rakim having another problem. So he's lost out massively to that group, as Mark Rave is now under a massive amount of pressure from Kodalunga. GTSR is now dropped from the back of this pack. So as we go and watch another car has a little bit of an issue, so GTSR has now dropped back all of those cars, and even behind Cheese Monkey. So whatever's ever happened to him, he is now dropped down to 10th place as RaKiMaJe serves his penalty. But Mark Rave once again leads this pack, and Kodalunga and Andy's turn to try and be in the front of these guys. So cars are dropping out left, right and centre between these guys.
Yeah, Mark Ray seems to be getting more comfortable the more he's got into this race. I think he qualified about 8th, 9th, something like that. But yeah, he's made his way up through the pack. He's got it's a long way to HR USA in front of him. He's going to have to defend from Cod and Andy though. As Freeman
Cod's
has
going
dropped
down the
quite
inside.
far. Oh,
sorry,
is he going down
Benjy.
inside? No, it's okay, you tell me.
He just bounced all over those chicanes. He pretty much cut the corner. Now it's Andy's go. He wants to try and he's finally got past Kodalunga, but he wants to have a look at Mark Rave. Andy with a great opportunity, but he almost gets an opportunity to get past Mark, but Mark defends it brilliantly. Kodalunga pretty much cut majority of that chicane, and fair play to him. He has given the place up to the guys in front. So fair play to him, but Mark Rave hangs on by the skin of his teeth then. Oh my god, that was close.
These guys are having a lot of fun, aren't they? I mean, Freeman was in with them as well, but he's dropped back. He must have had a mistake or something, because he's dropped quite a lot of time. I did see a yellow flag out, so he's maybe had a spin, I think, as it looks like Grillo lets him past, I think, as he's a back marker. But yeah, they're really, really fighting, aren't they? Mark Rave, Andy and Cod, they got very similar pace, and it looks very exciting. I'm quite jealous, actually. I'm not involved with it.
To be honest, mate, it makes me want to jump on and do some racing with these guys, but obviously I reckon I'll be bad at this. As Kodalunga goes down the inside and makes contact with Andy, so he's going to have to give that position up, but that's going to allow W down the inside, and Kodalunga carries on, but Andy back down the inside.
Yeah, he's let him past.
Yeah, that was a bit rude of him.
Yeah, he went for a bit of a lunge and unfortunately made contact with Andy. I don't think he intended to sort of like hit him or anything like that. It was accidental, but credit to him, he made amends, and he let Andy back through at the next corner. But I'm sure these people will close up again, as Andy has obviously got a lot of pace tonight.
He has got quite a bit of pace, but obviously he's not able to get through this pack. So Andy just needs to keep it a little bit clean and try and get his head together and try and find where the other cars in front of him are weaker, and then try and capitalize as quickly as he can. But while these guys have been battling it out, Javier leads the race at the minute. He's about to start lap 13 here at Zolder, with the only G currently 6.2 seconds back. HR USA is also not too far away from these guys, 8 seconds back from the only G, so those three are completely checked out. Then it's a 14-second gap back down to Mark Rave. That's how much of a gap these three leaders have. They are completely gone, and also that's how much it's taken these guys to fight each other.
Yeah, it's really costing them, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, HR USA is in basically a world of his own. We've got Only G, who's dropped off Javier a little bit. Javier out in front. He's putting fantastic pace in again. No mistakes. The car seems to be on rails as we expect from him. We are coming to the pit window soon. I mean, can anything sort of stop this guy? It doesn't seem likely, does it? I mean, Only G was hanging on for a little bit. You just don't see Javier ever make a mistake, though, do you, Dan?
No, not really, but I tell you what G is very good at. He's very good at saving the tyres, so maybe he'll be wanting to just save a set of tyres and try not to do a tyre change. Maybe possibly gain 5 seconds there. We just don't know. We don't know what G's setup is.
Andy is side by side with W, I think, down his back straight going into the chicane.
On the outside. It's going to be tricky to do it, but he's going to give it a go.
He's bouncing over the curb. W is very fair, left him space. He's on the outside of this next sort of left-hander.
Kodalunga is right in this as well. Oh, guys, keep it clean.
Andy looks like he's just got it. He's got the inside.
Yeah.
These guys are keeping it very clean, very, very respectful racing, giving each other space. We'd like to see this, and yeah, great racing between all these lot.
Awesome stuff, definitely. W's obviously lost a little bit of time there, and that's going to allow Kodalunga to have a little look of an opportunity. The man I'm impressed with at the minute is Cheese Monkey. He was near enough at the back of the pack, and he is now into 8th place. He is having a solid race right now, making a great recovery in that Ginetta. I believe he is the leading Ginetta, and he's having a great run here this evening. He's getting stuck into this fight now.
Cheese Monkey, like every race we see him in, he's always in action. Do you think so, Dan? Like, he's always involved in something. He never has a quiet race. He's either defending or attacking, or He's one of those drivers who doesn't seem to qualify very well, but he seems so solid in the race. He seems very quick and consistent in the race, and able to gain when people make mistakes. So yeah, as you say, he's always in the action. But if he had a great qualifying session, he could be up with the likes of HR USA and the only G right now, but obviously due to the bad qualifying, obviously Ginetta a little bit slower than the rest of the cars, but in the corners, it's probably one of the best cars in the corners, I believe. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I think it could be a good car here at Zolder, and he's definitely been making his way up the field. He's got very good racecraft, we know that. As we just see, like, Andy's just pulling away a little bit from W. He's going to be trying to close that gap to Mark Rave, I believe, now, and see what he can do. Just looking at the pits, and Grullo is looks like he's retired, unfortunately. He's 4 laps down in the pits, and I haven't seen him move for a while. So yeah, obviously very much struggling tonight, Grullo.
Yeah, and he thought it was best, instead of getting in the way of everyone else and getting lapped constantly, he thought it was best to just get himself out of the race. But fair play to him, and such a shame he was not able to get it together. Kodalunga makes a mistake. That's going to allow Cheese Monkey to have a little bit of a look into the final chicane. Will Cheese Monkey look for a late lunge down the inside? But that, once again, that Ginetta power is not helping him out to get alongside. He's just relying on people making mistakes. As we got a comment here from Evo Wenger saying, when are you guys going to be on ACC on PC? Hopefully very soon. We're currently on the PS4 platform at the minute, but we will be looking to go to PC very, very soon. Javier flying the flag at the minute. Freeman still in the top 10, and come on guys for a run DJC. And as we just heard, Benji, the pit window is open, and the first one to blink is Freeman.
Yeah, so Freeman's coming very, very soon. Not sure what the tactics are behind that. Maybe had a little bit of damage. Yeah, maybe clear air. It does look like there's perhaps a little bit of damage on that car. I did notice he dropped down a little bit he was in the fight with Andy and W and Carl and everyone, and he dropped down a little bit, so maybe he's had a little bit of contact somewhere. He wants to get that car fixed so he can pick up the pace again. As we see Emo guys coming in also. Who else? We've got Thomas also in. Yep, so and number 34's just come in, the wall. Yeah, the wall has come in. Bring on the wall!
I bet they got a lovely little hole for that Porsche to go through a wall right now as he comes into the pit lane. Andy is already caught onto the back of Mark Ray within a few laps. He is onto the back of that BMW, and I don't know if Mark Ray is struggling in the corners a little bit, but we know the BMW is very fast in a straight line, but it just doesn't seem to be handling very well. It's quite a big car compared to the rest of them. It's quite solid.
It's a bit of a chunk, isn't it?
No. Wait. I've just noticed something. Where's Javier? Javier's gone. We've lost Javier.
Oh, no. Yes. How did we not see that?
The internet gods have decided to stop Javier. The only G leads the race.
That is crazy. I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say either.
The only thing that can stop Javier is his own internet. That's pretty much it, isn't it? Yeah,
we're too busy looking at. We're too busy watching Mark Raven and Andy, and then I just see both of them go up into third and fourth. We got a mad traffic in the pits right now. We've got so many cars in. HR USA is in. Mark Ray, W, GTSR, Marty Road Racing, Ratchidas, Emo guys exit. Oh, Emo guys in again for some reason, but he's in. Grula obviously in the pits at the minute. But the only G now leads this race, and wow, Javier is gone. Javier has been defeated, and he got disconnected. Oh no, Javier just got disconnected, and he's not going to take the whole complete sweep of wins. Such a shame, mate. It was such a shame to see you not in the race.
Yeah, it's so annoying. This happens sometimes with ACC, like the blue screens and connection issues, and he's really been robbed of a likely race win. He was really doing well, Javier, but yeah, I think his championship is still relatively safe unless he gets some massive penalty in Bathurst. But
well, he's not going to get a penalty here, and unless he's going to get 106 penalty points in Bathurst, I really don't see him losing the championship. I'm quite probably happy to say that he is the champion. Javier, it's annoying. Hopefully PC is coming. Yes, mate, we will be going to the PC very, very soon. I'm not sure exactly when, but we are in the midst of trying to get it sorted. Scuderia, he'll log back in and still win. I mean, if he could do that, that would be impressive. But I think by the time he gets out and all that, like, he will be down several laps. It just, yeah, he wouldn't be able to get back into the fight, would he? Cheese Monkey's
I feel very confused not seeing Javier at the top of the leaderboard.
So
it feels very, very peculiar watching a GT4 race and not seeing Javier at first position. But yeah, unfortunate for Javier. As you see, at Marty Road Racing Life has picked up a stop-go 30-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So that has really ruined his race. Just rubbing salt in the wounds after his mistake at the chicane of death, which dropped him right to the back of the pack. And this is just going to ruin his day even more.
It has not been his night this evening. Just constant issues here and there, and the penalty as well is really going to hinder him now. But Cheese Monkey in the pits, RaKiMaJe in the pits. A couple of guys we're still waiting on. Windsor still needs to do his pit stop. Kenny as well. Kodalunga, Andy, and the only G. G is going to go for as long as he possibly can here. But Andy as well. What does Andy and Kodalunga do? These two currently still out on track at the minute. They'll want to try and skip the pack as much as they possibly can, while the rest of them are still fighting in the pack.
Yeah, we see some diving into the pits. Who we got diving into the pits? I believe
and Kodalunga.
Yeah, Andy and Kodalunga, like you said. So, yeah, they're making their mandatory pit stops. Yoni G is still out. He's still at the front. So he'll be looking to make his pit stop very soon. Maybe we might do another sort of lap. He has got some clean air at the moment. So, yeah, we'll see what Yoni G does.
We're just down to two guys who haven't served their pit at the minute. Andy and Kodalunga are in the pit 7. There's Kenny. Oh, he clips the wall as he comes into the pits, so he now comes to serve his pit stop. So G, the only man really who hasn't come into the pits, and he's leaving it as late as he possibly can. Remember, they got a 10-minute window to get their pit stop done. There's currently 4.5 minutes left of this pit window, so hopefully the only G is will come in very soon, as majority of the pack have now pitted, and we got to try and figure out who are the net winners and losers. But Cheese Monkey's still on the back of Mark Rave. He's probably actually lost time to Mark Rave. I think Mark Rave has pulled away from Cheese Monkey. W's on the back of Cheese Monkey. Freeman is currently up into 9th place. We won't really know until Andy and Kodalunga come out the pits, and Kodalunga has actually jumped Andy in the pits.
Yeah, he's obviously had a great pit stop there. Maybe he just found his pit marker a little bit quicker than Andy did, and yeah, he's got the jump on him there. So Andy losing a position at the pit stops. So yeah, we'll see if he can get that position back, because he had to work very, very hard. As we see them come out, and there's like 5 cars together. This gaggle of cars can't escape each other. They just love each other so much.
That's Marty Road Racing trying to get out of the way. He just served his drive-through, and he's trying to find a way around anyone, but he can't. He's trying to get offline. As you see there, Kodalunga and W really battling it out there just for those few places. The net winner out of all that is Mark Rave. He's cleared this group by like 5 seconds.
Yes, he's got third position. He's quite far in front of Cheese Monkey. Cheese Monkey's really benefited, hasn't he, from those pit stops? He was he was round sort of 7th, 8th, and he's all the way up into 4th now. So yeah, great racing by Cheese Monkey.
Yeah, such a shame, but Cheese Monkey is now putting on a lot of pressure to the rest of the guys and allowing to just get away a little bit, but Andy will not be happy about this. He'll be wanting to try and push his way through the pack and try and gain back that 3rd place that he was battling for Mark Rave, but I'm pretty sure that Andy is probably pitted for tyres, so he's got that extra grip. G has he's finally come in to serve his pit stop, and he looks like he's obviously going to carry on taking the race lead. I don't know if he's going to do a tyre change or not, but we will find out a little bit later on.
Yeah, so we see a yellow flag out for number 45. Who's that?
That's RaKiMaJe.
RaKiMaJe.
Yeah, he's had a spin.
So it looks, yeah, he's been into the wall there. Look at the front of that Mercedes. Its bonnet is really riding high. So yeah, I think he's had a bit of a spin there, and it looks like he's picked up a lot of damage.
Yeah, he looks a bit slow as well, so he's trying to get into the pits as quickly as he can before the pit window closes. But yeah, such a shame for him. And Cheese Monkey is starting to extend the gap a little bit from Andy. Andy not quite able to stick to the back of him at the minute, but Kodalunga is under massive pressure from W at the minute.
Yeah, let's have a little look at that.
Oh, I say that, he has a big twitch and nearly drops it. But like I said, RaKiMaJe has come in as well, so he's obviously suffered major damage to the front of that car and is really hindering him. The only G now exits the pit lane. And where is HR USA? He is only now coming up to the final chicane. So the only G will retake the race lead. He didn't even lose it in the first place, but he will carry on leading this race at Zolder. The last time we saw the only G in GT4s, he was in the Camaro and he was really struggling in that thing. Here at Zolder in the Mercedes, he's currently leading away and just dominating the race at the minute. Well, I say dominating. Javier was dominating until he got sadly disconnected, and again, it still feels weird not seeing Javier at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, it does feel very unusual not seeing Javier up there, but yeah, the only G has got a huge lead over HR USA. As long as he keeps on the track now and avoids making any mistakes, he'll have this race in the bag, I would say. And then another big gap back from HR USA back to Mark Rave. I mean, the closest racing on track at the moment is 4th through to 7th. These guys are all very, very close, as they have been all race long. And yeah, we've got Andy all over the back of Cheese Monkey trying to look for any way round, along with W all over the back of Cod as well.
Yeah, as we just hear, the pit window is now closed, so if you haven't taken your pit stuff, tough luck to you. You will be getting a penalty at the end of the race. But Andy has learned now to make sure he fills the car up with at least 1 litre of fuel. His very first race at Brands Hatch, he didn't do that, but luckily he was the last lapped car, so he got away with that penalty. But he is now under massive pressure. He's putting massive pressure onto CheeseMonkey right now, and CheeseMonkey is holding up the pressure well at the minute. He's keeping it smooth and consistent and just holding on to that 4th place. But Mark Rave, I gotta say, after all those pit stops, the man has just managed to gap these guys by 7 seconds. He must have just done a fuel, that's it, and he didn't go for tyres. He must have not gone for tyres. That's Andy.
Ooh, CheeseMonkey's been spun round. Oh, and there's contact with Cod. CheeseMonkey is struggling to get going again. Oh, he's lost a lot of places there, CheeseMonkey. I don't know what happened. I think he spun it by himself. It just looks like Andy may be waiting for him.
He's slowing right down.
Yeah, Andy's realised. I think he's probably spun CheeseMonkey round there. There's probably contact, and it looks like he slowed down. He's going to let CheeseMonkey back through. I'm pretty sure.
We didn't get to see that, sadly, due to the camera taking so long, as Andy's still not slowed down yet. He's still on the back of Marty Road Racing. Where is CheeseMonkey? He's only coming into turn 1, so I'm not sure what Andy is. There
he's slowing down now. He's slowing down.
And CheeseMonkey gets really close to him there. A little bit of a... I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. He gets really close to Andy then. It's not the natural line to turn 1, but obviously he doesn't seem happy about something.
Oh yeah, he might have been flicking the bird outside the window as well, a bit like Bottas at last Sunday. Yeah,
I was just about to say the same thing, doing a Bottas.
Yeah, obviously not very happy with what happened there. As we know, Andy is a very clean driver. It wouldn't have been intentional, and he's done the right thing in that if he caused an incident, he let CheeseMonkey back through. But he's not resting though. He's trying to get back through from CheeseMonkey. They're side by side going into this next chicane. Looks like, oh, is Andy just about going to squeeze CheeseMonkey? Oh, CheeseMonkey. Oh, there's still contact. Andy on the outside. CheeseMonkey's got the inside. And they're still side by side, Dan. CheeseMonkey's got the inside for this next corner coming up. Great racing between these two. You put a cigarette paper between them as Andy's trying to go around the outside. A bit more contact. It looks like CheeseMonkey's just hold it out. Wow, that was incredible.
Great stuff from those two. I mean, you can see the fire between them, and while these two are too busy fighting each other, Freeman is starting to catch him now. Freeman's been on his lonesome self for ages, and at the minute these two keep banging doors. He's going to end up having to go at these two at the minute, but with those two making that little bit of an incident, that's allowed W and Kodalunga to disappear and gap these two, but they're the only ones really fighting on circuit right now. A man I got a comment on is AmazingPieBoy started from the pit lane and he's up into 12th place. So AmazingPieBoy's done bits to get himself a bit higher up in the grid, and he's trying to catch Kenny. He's only 1.3 off the back of him. So AmazingPieBoy done a great job considering he started from the back of the pit lane.
Yeah, he's been slowly making his way up through the grid, and he's done very, very well to get it up into 12th position at the moment. Also, I noticed RaKiMaJe, he had a drive-through, didn't he?
Yeah,
which really dropped him a lot of positions at the beginning of the race, but he's up into 9th place. We know he's got good pace. He qualified in 3rd, and if these guys in front of him keep fighting, Freeman, Andy, CheeseMonkey, W, then there's no reason why he can't catch onto the back of them and give them a bit of a go as well.
He is starting to run out of time though. We are getting to the last few minutes of the session. 21 minutes left of the session here at Zolder for round 7 of the GT4 Championship. We are finishing off the season very soon, guys. The final round will be next week. As Benjy said earlier on, we will be live at Bathurst for the final round, and Mount Panorama, what a circuit that we'll be going to. One of the most difficult circuits in the world. What is Andy doing there? He's just gone a little bit off track and onto the grass. A little bit possessed there a little bit, but
bit of gardening.
But we go to Bathurst, Benjy, Mount Panorama, Australia's most famous race circuit, and well, I say most famous. I would say it's the most famous, but Melbourne's probably up there as well, and also Adelaide. But for me, Bathurst. If you can race well at Bathurst, you are a decent driver, because that is some mountain.
Yeah, well, I can't race very well at Bathurst at all, so that pretty much tells you everything you need to know about my driving. Yeah, I find it very, very difficult, Bathurst. I have no pace there at all. The walls scare me. Well, it'll be interesting to see how well the wall does with all the walls over at Bathurst, whether he's bouncing off them or whether he's or just going past them, just inches away from them, and has good pace. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Bathurst. It's never been a very good track for me. Maybe with time and a bit more practice, perhaps I can learn to enjoy it a little bit more. How do you feel about Bathurst, Dan? Do you like it as a track?
I love Bathurst. I love it.
Do you?
I love the challenge. I love the challenge, especially when you get the top of the hill or the top of the mountain down. Like, get it consistent and in perfect line every time. You get it smooth. It's just something to enjoy. I love Bathurst as a circuit, and then you have the fun of the chase and the straight line fun. But was a good circuit for me in the past, so yeah, I look forward to seeing these guys at Bathurst, and I reckon it's going to be close, but we might see a bit of incidents as well with the walls, and be interesting to see how Javier gets on. Now, we currently got Javier in the comments right now, and Javier, I don't know if you're listening, mate, but have you heard of my challenge yet? Have you gonna accept my challenge of starting from the back of the grids? Don't qualify in the race and see how far you can get up from the back of the pack, because I think throughout the whole of the guys here currently watching, that would be something to watch. You've got the championship pretty much in the bag. Let's have a little bit of fun and let's see you take on all of these GT4 guys. It's 106 points. Still, that's what, 35 points
for a race win. Oh, he's got it. He's got it sewn up, and yeah, I mean, you may as well give him the trophy now, pretty much, hadn't you? But well, unless he goes on a wild killing spree over at Bathurst, kills some kangaroos and gets a steward's inquiry, maybe, then perhaps he'll lose some points.
Jesus. I mean, we got to do is go and kick Daniel Ricciardo in the nuts, and I guarantee they'll give you 106 points worth of penalty points there. But I mean, it'd be nice to see if he can try and get from the back of the pack and back to the front again. With it being an hour-long race as well, it could be possible, you know. Could we see Javier go from last to first? So far, AmazingPieBoy from last has got himself up into 12th. So, and that's in the Camaro. So, and AmazingPieBoy has done a great job to get that car that high up, like I said, from starting from the pit lane. So it could be doable, you know. And Bathurst is somewhere you can overtake, especially the chase and into turn 2 are places where you can overtake. But the top of the mountain, yeah, you're in trouble there.
Yeah, it's a very difficult place to overtake at the top of the mountain, isn't it? You just have to try and follow them before that sort of like that sharp left-hander as you go onto that long straight, really, haven't you?
He's responded. He says, "I don't think so. ... I will think about it during the week." But I mean, come on, mate. Let's see it. Let's see you take on these guys. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how you would get on. We are currently watching the race leader at the minute, the only guy who stood in this evening. He wanted to have a go this evening as Zolder, and he's currently leading the way at the minute. HR USA currently in second place. All is lonesome himself. Mark Rave in third place, and once again he cleared the rest of the pack, and ever since he's been on his own. Kodalunga and W are the only fight that's going on circuit right now, and Freeman and Andy actually. Freeman's had a flash of lights there. Looks like Andy's done something a little bit naughty.
Yeah, I was just watching them. They were side by side going into the death chicane, and Freeman had one wheel on the grass. I'm not sure if he was insinuating that Andy didn't give him enough room and pushed him onto the grass a little bit. But yeah, they were side by side, and Andy's going backwards instead of forwards. He was challenging Cheese Monkey, but he's fallen into the clutches of Freeman. Freeman's going to have to work back though to get back in touch with him after that battle between themselves.
Yeah, definitely. W has done bits here this evening. He's currently in 5th place. A great strong run from him this evening, and giving Kodalunga a little bit of a headache at the minute. Only 6 tenths from the back of him, so we could see W maybe try and get that 4th place. But yeah, at Freeman trying to pressurize Andy a little bit, but at the minute he's just dropped off the back. He needs a couple of laps just to compose himself and hopefully get onto the back of Andy. But we got into this like slow section of the evening. As I say, that Kodalunga's gone wide. Kodalunga's gone wide. That's going to allow W down the inside, and W will take that 4th place now. Kodalunga just a little bit caught out of maybe lost a bit of concentration there, and he now loses a place to W. That's a shame for him.
Yeah, Road Racing in Life is Marty Road Racing is really showing his pace. I mean, he's a lap down, but he's not losing these guys at all. It's just down to that penalty. He got the stop-go 30-second penalty. As we see COD almost have an instant there at the death chicane. But who was I talking about now? I've forgotten now.
Marty Road Racing.
Marty Road Racing, yeah. It's just a shame that he had that big mistake. Yeah, and COD's looking up the inside. He doesn't quite have enough space for it, but he's right at the back of W. If he can get a good run into this next chicane, looks like W's going to be defending. He's going to be staying to the right a little bit. Or is COD going to make a dive to the inside? He's looking at it, but he thinks better off it. He slows down.
Yeah, and Marty Road Racing does a great job again out of way of Cheese Monkey, because he's now joining the party. He wants to get involved in a bit of this. W doesn't seem quite, when he's out in front, he doesn't seem to have the pace on his own. Now COD is behind him, he's pressurising him once again. I think W is kind of using the cars in front, kind of learning their lines and figuring out what was best for him. So now he's in front, he seems to just be struggling a little bit.
Yes, neither of them seem to want the lead off each other, do they? As soon as COD gets in front, he goes wide. As soon as W goes in front, he goes wide. They both seem to be swapping and changing places quite consistently, but it's making for some exciting racing. And Cheese Monkey's closed right onto the back of COD as well now, so it's a three-way fight between these.
Yeah,
as we're looking. Go on, sorry.
It's a close fight between these guys, and if these guys start to be battling it a little bit harder, Andy will then be back involved in this lot as well. So these four still battling it out, even though we're getting near the end of the race. They're still going for it every single lap, and this night race has been brilliant here at Zolder. We had a bit of a quiet stage just a second ago, but these guys have brought it back together again, and it's making it a little bit exciting. But to the current guys who are watching the stream right now, if you're interested into motive racing and want to be a part of the action on circuit, then head over to our website www.motiveracing.com. Sign up for our new season that will be coming on later on in the year. Currently, at the minute, we are running a Porsche Super Cup Championship on ACC. Tuesday nights is our Renault Clio night, sponsored by Silent X Energy, where we have 2 tiers in that category. Our Wednesday night is the GT4s here on ACC with myself and Benjy. Thursday nights is our quiet rest night for all the drivers to recover, but there are still things going on over on SimPlay if you want to have a look at their channel as well. Friday night is our Formula 1 League night, and we're currently still in the mid-season of that. We're currently getting towards the tail end of the season, 22 rounds of F1, and we head to Singapore this week. Then we have our Super Saturday. The Project Cars GT3s will be doing their American tour as they hit the circuit of the Americas, and then followed up by them is our Formula Renaults, and then Sunday is our final round of Misano of the GT3 Super Season for ACC. We would normally have touring cars afterwards, but because of the final round, Misano, as you see, Cordalunga going wide, and Cheese Monkey gains another place out of that. But like I said, we would normally have had touring cars finishing off the week, but we have Misano GT3 Finale, which actually, Benji, is a double points round and double distance. You will be racing in that, and have you done any preparation ready for the race? As we did earlier on have Misano in the mid-season, but due to technical issues, we had to cancel and move to another date. But double points, double opportunity, and a championship still up to play for, I believe, or has Kurt got it in the bag?
Yeah, it's not completely decided. I think Kurt's got he's got a very big lead, so he's going to have a very bad race for JR to overtake him in the final race, even with double points. 9th or higher is what only G is saying he's got to finish his Kurt. So we know Kurt's got a lot of pace, so as long as he can bring it home and get a fairly decent race from him, he can bring the championship home. But for third place, it's between Mantulis, Chris and myself, to be honest. I've got an outside shot of getting third. I've done a little bit of practice last night. I remember the track from all the practice I did earlier on in the season. It's a nice track, Misano. I really like it. It's very easy to get drive-throughs, to push track limits beyond the limit. But it should be a good race. It's going to be a tricky one. 2 hours is a hell of a long time to remain focused and concentrated. I've done a 2-hour race once before at Laguna Seca in the Evo Motive Challenge. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it, I'm sure, but it's gonna be a struggle to stay concentrated and avoid doing any silly mistakes in the 2 hours.
2 hours is nothing, mate. I've done a 24-hour race. It's probably the most difficult thing I've ever done. I didn't do the full 24-hour. I think I figured out I did about 18 hours worth of driving, but that's probably the most difficult thing I've ever done. But 2 hours. I'll make sure I have enough coffee so I can sit there and commentate, and I brought my bikini as well, so that is going to be a very, very long night for myself, but for you guys I bet it's going to be even longer. It's going to be a long session nonetheless. But guys, make sure you tune in for the finale of the Super Season on GT3s on the Sunday night at Misano. Double points round for the Tier 1s is going to be an awesome night's worth of racing. But at the minute, we are rounding things off. We got the last 10 minutes of this session. The only G still way out in front. Well, I say way out in front. 6.3 ahead of HR USA. HR USA really hasn't allowed G to disappear. But G, I don't think has really been pushing. He's just had the race lead and just kept it to himself and not really been hesitated.
Yeah, he's right out in front, isn't he? Is it say HR USA is only 6 seconds behind him? I'm sure that means he's been closing up to him, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, very slowly. I think unless HR USA has done a tyre change and G hasn't, and the fresh tyres are now starting to kick in a little bit. Oh, G's. Okay, so yeah, G's just been.
Okay.
Okay. The only G says he. I'll take it. Can they hear you or can they not? I don't think they can. No, they can't hear him. So basically, G has just told us that he's running low on fuel and he's changed a fuel map. So he's just been running a little bit lower fuel maps just to try and get home, basically. But at the minute, he's still hanging on. Mark Rave.
It'd be interesting to see if only G's been taking advice from JR regarding fuel maps then, because JR likes a fuel saving map at Zandvoort, but we're at Zolder tonight and the only G's doing a JR move, it seems.
Well, we'll see how he gets on towards the end. Will he run out of fuel or will he just have enough? W still under massive pressure from the likes of Cheese Monkey, Codalunga and Andy. Andy has brought that gap down to Codalunga once again. These two have been inseparable all night, and Freeman has just dropped off of the back of these two. Maybe he's just had a little bit of a mistake somewhere and he's not quite onto the back of them, but these three have been at it all evening. And Benjy, this mid-pack has been crazy to watch all night.
It's pretty much been crazy all season now, hasn't it, Dan? I think like all season has been like a very competitive mid-pack. We've had Javier usually out in front, ruling the road in most of the races. Obviously he's had connection issues tonight, but the mid-pack, it's always very, very competitive with these guys. We always see Cod and Cheese Monkey and Freeman always battling out with Mark Rave as well. They're always very, very close, and same again tonight, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. As Cheese Monkey is actually bringing that gap down to W now. W got into a little bit of a groove and just seemed to be pulling away from these guys, but Cheese Monkey's bringing that gap back down 1.1 now, as Andy has a little bit of a tank sapper just behind and struggling to keep that Mercedes on circuit. I think majority of the guys would have done a tyre change. The gap between HR USA and G is gone back up, so maybe G is turning the fuel map back up again, but HR USA nonetheless has done a solid job, constantly up in the points, up the tail end of the championship. Who will this benefit the most? Who's currently championships wise? Freeman is currently second in the championship. Actually Freeman and HR USA are tied on points at the minute, both on 259 points. So at this point HR USA is gaining massive points on him, so this is going to help him out to hopefully secure second place as they go to the final round at Bathurst, with Freeman just at the back of Andy and only in 8th place.
yeah, I don't know what to say.
Well,
Yeah,
also, Mark Raver's also in that fight as well. He's so he's on 242 points, and the two in front are on 259. So Mark Ray will gain points on Freeman. HR USA will gain points on both of them, fighting out for that second place, basically the GT4.5 championship, because Javier's just gone and absolutely destroyed the season until tonight with his little disconnection. But there's still a championship on for second, third at the minute. But Cheese Monkeys brought that gap down once again to W, and it's now 0.5 of a second between these two. Things are hotting up once again towards the end of the race, Benji.
Yeah, these lot love fighting, don't they? And they're going to be really going for these extra places. Cheese Monkey never gives up. It's one thing I notice about him, he just keeps going and going, and he's either defending or attacking, and he's been doing a lot of attacking tonight, as we see Andy also very close behind COD as well. Freeman can't quite get back onto the back of Andy after their little bit of a battle earlier on, just before the death chicane, where Freeman looked a little bit aggrieved with maybe a move that Andy did or pushed him on the grass, perhaps slightly, perhaps he didn't realise quite how close he was. But yeah, they're really going for it at the end of this race, so all these lot. It's not over yet.
Yeah, definitely not. As you got a couple of comments coming in. Evil Scotsman email guy says a look down the grid, and what's going on? Is that AmazingPieBoy and Thomas Menger having a little bit of a fight at the minute? There's not much going on at the bottom of the grid, so
AmazingPieBoy, he's just got a bit of a tank slapper, and it looks like Thomas has just got past him, so yeah, Thomas gaining a position there. We've got Emo a little bit further back. He's obviously watching these lot fighting, and I'm impressed that he's managed to write on YouTube, write a comment at the same time he's driving. There's got a lot of good multitaskers in this motive racing.
I don't want to sound rude, but it seems like if he's able to type and race at the same time, obviously not much is going on in his race, to be fair. But still, he's still going. He's still going. I've got to give him that. Kodalunga and Andy have just quite close to each other. They're 10th behind each other. Andy looking to try and make a move down the inside. He's getting Freeman is now right on the back of him now. Freeman has brought that rat back down while these two are too busy fighting. W and Cheese Monkey also 3/10 between these two. 2 minutes, coming up to 2 minutes left of the session. Royal in the comments saying hashtag bring on the wall. That's going to be our new hashtag from now on, bring on the wall. Andy looks like he was going to try and make a move on Kodalunga, but he doesn't look like he's going to get the job done. But we're coming through the final few laps here at Zolder, and once again Benjy goes a little bit quiet for the GT4s, but once we get near the end, chaos starts to begin.
Yeah, I think these last two laps we're going to see some audacious moves as these drivers make last gasp attempts to make up final positions on each other. Looks like we're probably going to have, where's G? He's where is he? We're probably going to have a couple more laps, I reckon.
2 more laps.
Yeah, 2 more laps, so there's still time for these guys to make a move on each other. W and Cheese Monkey fighting it out further back. We've got COD and Andy.
Wait.
Behind him.
HR USA, I think this is what G was trying to tell us. HR USA is in second place and is 5/10 behind the only G. HR USA, could he get this race win?
What's happened there is G's have to go into either extreme fuel saving mode, engine failure.
Oh my god!
What, from lack of fuel, G?
Oh.
He's winding us up. He was saying that he's got engine failure, the only G, but
he's got to be fuel saving, or he's made a mistake. But that's
we're trying to make it more interesting at the end. Who knows? He's got previous for slowing down on the final lap at Sunday. It looked like maybe there was going to be an Austria situation where he'd let the number 1 driver Kurt go through, but no, he didn't. It was just to get a bit
USA
of a
looking to try. Yeah, HR USA all over the only G. We are now on the final lap. These two are going to battle it out for the final few points as Andy has got ahead of Codalunga while we're watching the race leaders. But this is for the race win. And I don't know about Javier. He told us in the headset that he had an engine failure, which obviously isn't a thing apparently. But he's definitely fuel saving like mad. He's got to be. He said he hasn't got quite enough fuel, but he's obviously chose was it JR who's decided to change fuel maps or something. But HR USA on the cusp of taking his first race win and the only person not to win this season. Can he do it? The only G, the reserve here this evening. Can he hold on?
He's parking it on all the apexes, isn't he? He looks like he's maybe turned the engine map up a little bit. He's obviously really struggling with the lack of fuel in this car. And
oh no.
Okay.
Sadly, sorry guys, the game decided to crash on me and we missed out all the action, but the only G takes the race win here this evening from HR USA. Mark Rave, W will take 4th, G's Monkey 5th, Andy in 6th, Codalunga 7th, 8th is Freeman, 9th Ratchet and 10th is GTSR, and the rest follow. Benji, you saw what was going on. What happened at the end of that? I just basically did a Javier at the end then.
Yeah, it looked like the only G was trying to make a little bit of a show at the end, and he took the win off HR USA. Some great racing all round tonight. Shame we missed the end there, but yeah, I hope you guys watching enjoyed it.
Yeah, so like I said, a massive apology to everyone that we suddenly... I basically feel like Javier in that race. I got disconnected and he says in the comments the same thing. That's how it feels. And I was gutted because I didn't get to see the end of that. But nonetheless, that is the GT4s. That was awesome racing here at Zolder. Benji, any final words, driver of the day for you? Hello, Benji, are you there? He's just disappeared. Well, in that case, I would just say that a great racing from all these guys. Brilliant stuff. Awesome. Once again, if you enjoyed what you see, hit that like button and subscribe. But from us here at the GT4s, it's a good night, and we'll see you for the final round at Bathurst in a week's time. So we'll see you later.